If you've read the Bible or you've been learning the Bible, you probably come across Beatitudes. And what is Beatitudes? Where did this word Beatitudes come from? Stay tuned, this is what I'm covering in this video. Beatitudes comes from the Latin word Beati Sunt. It's a Latin word, Beati Sunt. This Latin word, according to Britannica, the definition is blessed are. Blessed are. But according to Google Translate, Beati Sunt means they are happy. They are happy. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Of course, the list goes on, but I would like to point out, in each of these statements, we are referring to the oppressed, the decimated, the desolate. There is a reason for this. Because if you look at the word beatitude, it can also separate out from very layman speak. Beautiful attitude. Beautiful attitude. To have a beautiful attitude towards life. Why is it that those who mourn will get comfort, those who are poor will gain wealth? In my channel Inspire at Random, I talk a lot about manifestation, and Neville Goddard loves to reference the Bible in all of his teachings. There are several other manifestation texts, such as The Game of Life and How to Play It, The Master Key Society. A lot of these have biblical references. Bob Proctor, the main speaker in The Secret, he has a chapter in his book, The Law of Polarity. For without night, there will be no concept of day. For no poverty, there will be no concept of rich. They are happy. Beautiful attitude. Blessed are the people who can appreciate the beauties of life. If you constantly expect things to unfold or happen or must be done in a certain way and certain way only, then you will constantly be in a state of self-oppression. However, if you're able to appreciate things in nature, letting things take their course, appreciating that nature most probably does, and almost always does, have a better way, you're going to be happy regardless. And beautiful attitude is to give constant gratitude. And to be happy is to constantly find satisfaction, appreciation, gratitude in life itself. To be more blessed is simply to be more happy. Incidentally, this morning I was going through a lesson on Mind Valley by Agapi Stasinopoulos. She pointed out in the movie The Chariots of Fire, the lead actor was a missionary and he was asked to stop running, to focus on his godly work. But his response was, "This gives me joy." So the state of being blessed is the state of feeling joy in the activities that we do. Think of activities that you feel joy. It could be running, playing a sport, driving a car, negotiating business deals. Think about something that gives you joy that you're not currently doing anymore. And maybe you should get back into that, because the lack of these things are the cause for your misery. A soldier with severed limbs, knowing that the war has been won. A patient with stage 4 cancer, given a new lease of life. Someone serving a prison sentence, given early release. A bankrupt, given a sudden blessing of random wealth. All these individuals, because of the polarity they have experienced, they have been at the absolute lows. So definitely anything above 0 is far better than any condition they have been in. Even if it is at the loss of 1 or 2 limbs, even if it is at the expense of having to go to the hospital for regular checkups for the rest of your life, it is still better than the constant fear and anxiety of an ongoing war, the constant fear and anxiety of an ongoing disease, possibly having to die, not knowing how much longer you have to live. However, I also do know that some of you may have a different challenge. Some of you may be wondering, how exactly do I feel grateful? Well, if you think about breath, think of it as accepting a breath instead of taking a breath. Because when we breathe in, there has to be something for us to breathe in. So even breath in itself is something that most of us do not even think about. It's something that we take for granted. But if we think of it as accepting a breath, wouldn't that start to put us in a state of constant thanks? This is one of the reasons why so many coaches in various aspects, they often begin with breath work, because breath work itself is about being very present moment. You may have also heard of a statement, tomorrow is not guaranteed, so make the most of today. For that matter, if the next hour is not guaranteed, make the most of this hour. If the next minute is not guaranteed, make the most of this minute. If the next second is not guaranteed, wouldn't you want to pay attention into this second as opposed to the last hour's problems, yesterday's problems, last week's problems, next week's issues, next year's things that haven't happened yet, or when is the next episode of whatever garbage series on Netflix is coming out, or the next game, when are we meeting for an online game, the next gossip. Most of us have our attention scattered in all kinds of places, and we're in a constant state of trance. Let's call our attention back from all these other places and activities and things that do not really actually benefit us or even make us feel that good. Let's summon all those energies and concentrations back to the now as we accept the next breath. Many years ago, when I was a teenager, I remember this one time when I was staking out my girlfriend at that time because she wasn't picking up my calls and she wasn't home when she was supposed to be. I basically staked out till I think it was about 4:30 in the morning. Eventually finding out and being liberated from all those concerns, because that's when I saw she was being sent home in a BMW 5 Series, black color. That gave me the clarity and liberation knowing that she had been having an affair. Basically, this relationship was over. But during those hours that I was staking out, the night got more and more silent. My phone battery ran out. They were out of things to do. Back then, phones were like, the BlackBerry kind. Mine was a Nokia, basically a small screen on top and a keypad below. So it wasn't all that good to use. In those moments, it was kind of meditative. I began to notice the sound of the crickets seemed to be getting louder and louder. The sound of the wind and the rustling leaves seemed to be getting louder and louder. For at least a good 2 hours, it was almost a meditative state because I was able to appreciate the sounds of nature, the night breeze. When the final moment came that she showed up, sent by someone else, I was delivered from my worries and anxieties and able to move on in life. You can create your own Beatitudes. Beati Sunt. Blessed are you, or they are happy. You will be one of the they who are happy by practicing gratitude. What is one thing you can think of that you're grateful for today? And once you have that one thing in mind, let's make it another 2 so that you have 3 things you're grateful for today. Tomorrow, let's go for 6 things and 9 things and so on. Or you can even expand this exponentially. As you note down the things that you're thankful for, your focus is going to be tuned more into the present moment. You start being more appreciative and resonating with life. At the same time, it's not just that. As you become more resonant with life, you're also being more resonant with God. Remember that we are all made in God's likeness. So there is also God within. There could be things God has designed for us. But as we shift our focus into the present, you start to realize that your life gets better and better. I'd like to invite you to check out my Inspire at Random community. The link is down in the video description. This is for anyone who wants to manifest a better life. And for another video, check out this one over here.